Hello friends, welcome to In the Studio with Pyramid Dyeworks. I am Pyramid Dyeworks, also known as Liz. I am a knitter and a natural dyer, and I am coming to you from my living room in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Welcome to the start of a new vlog. I thought I would do something a little bit different this week. We are expecting several days in a row of rain in the forecast, and I am very excited about it. The leaves are all changing color here. I'll put in a little bit of footage. I went up the mountain earlier this week with my dogs and we walked around and saw the aspens turning. They were very beautiful. All of this rain is going to make the leaves fall off of the aspens. So that was really the last chance to see the fall color up in the mountains. I was out walking my dogs this morning and already could see up in the mountains that a lot of the leaves have already fallen. It's like maybe half of it's left up there, so I got up just in time. But now it's time to cozy up at home. I want to lean real far into the fall vibes this week, and I want to spend all of my free time knitting. And I am hoping by starting this vlog, it will motivate me and give me a little bit of accountability, so that I don't get distracted by other things. In that spirit, I'm just going to talk to you about what I'm working on right now, like literally right now. I have swatched for a new sweater. Those of you who have been watching me, yes, I do have other sweater whips. No, I have not finished those sweaters. Yes, I have swatched for a new sweater and I'm going to cast it on this afternoon. I am going to be knitting the Corran cardigan. It is a pattern from the Creabea, Rebecca Clo. She designs really beautiful patterns. I have actually knit this sweater once before already. I'll go grab it. Here's my first Corran cardigan. It is a short sleeve version. I knit it up in my own Pyramid Dyeworks yarn in my worsted weight. I dyed this with, can't find my other sleeve, Osage Orange and Madder Root. And I called this colorway Brick. And I stole some for myself, so that I can make this very cute cardigan. It is V-neck. Got a few buttons there. I really love this cardigan. I was surprised how much wear I got out of it after I knit it. It just suddenly was like my go-to thing that I was pulling for all the time. It's a great transitional season piece. I feel like it kind of goes with everything. I mean, natural dyes just kind of do that because they're natural. They're just beautiful no matter what. And I kind of wondered, a short sleeve worsted weight, like how much am I going to wear that? But it is lacy. So it's really nice. It's like just a little bit of warmth, but it's not hot, clearly. Now I'm going to make a green one. So one of the things that Rebecca does with her patterns is they're very customizable. They're kind of similar to sewing patterns in that sense that you can sort of like pick your view that you want to do. So she has options in the Corran cardigan pattern to either have short sleeves or long sleeves, V-neck or a crew neck, and then you can mix and match, which sleeves you want, which neckline you want. So with this version, I am going to still do the V-neck. I really like the deep V-neck, but I'm going to do a long sleeve version. And the yarn I'm using, of course I already took the tags off, is this lovely combo here. It is indeed Knitting for Olive. There's soft silk mohair in bottle green It's such a good color. And I'm also holding it with their no waste wool in the color slate green. It's a little bit deeper, but they're both really, really beautiful greens. And I think it's gonna go well with my eyes. Yeah. Yeah, so held together, we get this lovely, lovely situation. Yeah, so I swatched, I hit gauge, I'm good to go. I've printed out the pattern. I just need to go through it. I'm gonna highlight all of my numbers so that it's easier to follow along as I'm going. But I don't have to make any size adjustments or anything. I just have to pick my size and go. This is gonna be such a nice, relaxing knit. I'm very excited. Just knitting up the swatch in these two yarns together was luscious. I don't know if I can think of a better word. It felt real luscious. Right, so the no waste wool. This is a different base that I have ever used from them. I was actually in Copenhagen last fall, just almost a year ago. It was last November. And I went to the Knitting for Olive store and I bought a sweater quantity of this slate green in the no waste wool. Because I had never seen this base before and I was really interested by it. It is 50% recycled wool and 50% extra fine, traceable, mulesed merino. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Yeah, so it's half recycled wool and half very humanely raised. Wool from very humanely raised sheep. Yeah, so it has a little bit more of like a firmer feel to it than like their cotton merino or their merino for that matter. It feels more like a cotton merino than their cotton merino does to me, just like in the hand. But yeah, paired together with the mohair, it's so soft. It's just like, oh my God, I'm very excited. Very excited. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast on a new sweater this afternoon. Mostly because it is Sunday afternoon and that means I can do whatever I want. And I want to cast on a new sweater even though I haven't finished my other sweaters. I will get to those when I get to those later this week, but everything is at sort of a natural break point. So I'm like, well, do I want to like jump back into that one right now after I like just finished a section, or do I want to start something new? So I'm going to start something new. So I just sat and watched Saturday Night Live from last night, and I started my sweater. The dog's playing with the squeaky toy. It's cast on. I've knit a few rows. Bottom up, so it was a nice triple digit number on the cast on there. Yeah, so it's underway now. Good morning, friends. It is not Monday. It is Tuesday. I did not record yesterday because I didn't knit yesterday. That's a little bit of a fib. I knit exactly one row on my ribbing. That's all I did yesterday. So Sunday evening, I ended up having a friend come over for dinner, and we hung out, and I didn't knit at all on Sunday evening. And then Monday, I had big plans to like knit all the things in all of my downtime during the day. And that did not happen either. Oh, hello. Conan is coming to say good morning by clawing my thigh as he climbs into my lap. Yeah, so, right. Yesterday I was trying to be really good and productive during the day and like not get distracted by knitting. I got distracted by other things. And then I had a friend call me and ask if I wanted to go out last night, which I did. Apparently, this is the week for everybody to break up with their partners and for them to call me and say, hey, do you want to get together? I really need to talk to somebody because we just broke up. That keeps happening. Glad I'm single right now because that won't happen to me. Okay. Anyway, it is now Tuesday morning. I have a little bit of time before I need to sit down to work. So I'm going to finish my ribbing and see where I go from there. Hi, Keza. I always have somebody to snuggle with. So I finished the ribbing for my Corran cardigan that I just cast on Sunday. So I'm going to set that aside for now and work on a different project since I kind of got to a natural stopping point. So I am pulling out my Tuku sweater. Oh yes, this one has been in the making for a very long time. If you have been following along, you know I have knit almost this entire sweater, realized it was too big, ripped it back, and knit the whole thing again. I have also now knit this sleeve 3 times. It's something I'm cursed. I don't know why. I didn't knit the whole sleeve 3 times, but I have ripped back half the sleeve like 3 times. So first of all, I knit the sleeve, and I think I did the number of decreases per pattern, I believe. Or maybe I just kept going. I can't remember. Anyway, it got too narrow. So I ended up ripping back, taking out 4 sets of decreases, and continuing back on. I knit through most of the cuff even. And then I looked in my project bag and I realized that this is all the yarn I have left and I still have a whole other sleeve to go. And I was like, ooh, that seems a little bit yarn chickeny. And then I remembered, oh right, because of that, I was gonna add in a little bit of color work at the cuffs just to save a few yards. And plus I still had the contrast color left over. So then I ended up ripping back again. I undid the cuff and reknit and added in a repeat of this first little motif at the wrist, which I think is really cute. I considered doing it around at the bottom of the body too, which would have saved more yarn. You know, like it would have practically been a better option for me if I'm adding this in to try and use up some of my contrast and save some of my main color. But in the end, I just kind of thought that might make it too busy. And I'm really happy with this, with just at the wrist, just a little hint. I think it's really cute. So I have one sleeve to go. I also am making a loaf of sourdough today. I'm going to make a minestrone soup tonight. I'm very excited. It's supposed to rain all day. As I'm looking outside, it's blue sky and beautiful, which is really unfortunate because I don't have time to take these guys out before I have to go to work because I'm knitting. Ugh. Sorry guys, I slept in. My bad. Yeah, but I'm making a loaf of sourdough. I have a timer set for when I need to go and add my salt and do a kneading. And I have about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get the needles back on this and get my sleeve established. Hello friends, good morning from Thursday. I finally had a chance last night to have a good knitting session and this morning. And I have made some progress on my sleeve. I just finished all of my decreases, so now I just need to knit straight for a little bit and do the color work at the wrist. Almost there. Where I'm getting pretty close on my yarn. I would be worried, but I do have this just a tiny little bit left over. So I think these two is going to be just fine to get through the rest of the sleeve and the ribbing. If I do run into a horrible yarn chicken situation, I can always undo my swatch. But it looks like I'm on track to use up just about all of my yarn, so I'm very excited about that. It's really frustrating having leftovers from projects and not having enough to do anything with. I am still gonna have a good bit of the contrast color left over. So I don't know, maybe I can work this into like color work on a hat or something at some point. Or maybe even another little color work accent in a sweater or something, who knows? So yeah, this is gonna be done real soon. Right now though, I am gonna head out on a little walkie with these fellas and we are gonna walk down to the bagel shop and get some breakfast. It is Thursday afternoon and I am now in Taos, New Mexico. which is an hour and a half north of Santa Fe. I've come back up here. I used to live here, and I have some admin stuff to deal with. Tomorrow I have to go to the post office and the county offices and do all sorts of boring administrative things. I'm at my friend's house. I am here with my dogs and my friend's dogs. They're all running around in the yard. I brought my Tuku sweater, and I am going to sit on the couch outside and work on it. Also, I'll show you the view here. It's great. I got here and my friend isn't home from work yet, so I'm just gonna chill on the porch. I do have access to the inside of the house. I'm not abandoned out here, but I'm just gonna sit outside while I'm waiting for them to get home from work. I'm here with Seymour. He's very cute. Hi, Seymour. Say hello. Welcome to Monday evening. Well, I finished my Tuku sweater. I finished when I was up in Taos. Here she is. I finally just finished weaving in the ends today, and she is ready to be blocked. Very exciting. I was able to spend some time at my friend's place knitting, and in the morning before I went out and ran all of my errands, I finished up the second sleeve, which makes this a finished object. Awesome. I'm very excited. That makes a pretty high note to end this podcast with, but I've also made a lot of progress on my Corran cardigan. Whenever I got back from Taos, I had finished my Tuku. So I just kind of went after this, and it is knitting up so fast, you guys. Look at this. Oops. Look at this. So the last you saw, it was just the ribbing. And now I have knit several inches of the body. It's knit up on size US 8, which is millimeters, 5 millimeter. So it's pretty quick. It's a simple lace pattern. Doesn't require a whole lot of brain power. You can really see it against the white wall back there. And because of the yarn I'm knitting it with, it feels so light and ethereal, and it's so soft and cushy. I mean, look at how much you can scrunch this thing up, okay? Like, it takes up the whole needle, but then if you just scrunch it up a little bit, it gets so tiny. It can get so tiny. Just this little tiny thing. So this is also, I think, going to end up being a really nice sort of travel cardigan, because it'll be able to pack down really small, but it will still be nice and warm, but not too warm. Getting a finished object, I think, gave me some motivation to really go after this. On like Saturday afternoon, I spent a good nice long knitting session on Saturday afternoon, which was lovely. I think that's everything for me. You have just come along with me in 1 week of my knitting life, and I have finished a sweater, I have started a new sweater, and I've made some great progress. I've gotten outside a lot, gone up the mountain, and I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.